Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to take a look at organizing your assignments into assignment groups. And this video is mostly for elementary school users of Canvas. So from the home page, I'm going to go ahead and click on the Assignments tab. And I have not organized my course very well at all. And when this loads up, what we're going to see is a very, very long list of assignments, all in one grouped category. And this is fine, except that when I start to look at my grade book, if we're going to start looking at grades for the term, it gets a little bit overwhelming when something is so long. So what I can do is organize these into groups, and then it'll be easier for me to find old assignments in here. And also I can filter my gradebook by group, so I can just look at a group of assignments all together from a certain subject area or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new group by clicking this plus group button. And let's create a group for social studies. And then we'll go ahead and click save. Now this takes a while to process, but as the wheel's spinning, we just wait patiently and maybe go to a happy space while we're watching that process, and then we finally get there, which is great. All of the groups that you build go to the very bottom of the page. So we have to scroll all the way down, and you'll find your new groups living down at the bottom. Look at them there. So right now, so far I've created a science group, a math group, reading, writing, and you just saw me create social studies. So how do we get assignments in these groups? Well, I'll have to tell you, it is much easier to set up the groups before you start creating a bunch of assignments. But maybe when you started giving them, you didn't know about groups, and so now you have this long list. So there are a couple of ways to start filling the assignment groups. The first way that you can do it is you can actually click and drag by this 2x4 matrix here down into the group. So let me grab that again. So I can just click and drag and drop it right into my science group here, say, and then it'll move down there. Now, when I have such a long list, though, that's going to be somewhat inefficient, especially if I'm dragging down and you have to pull it down, and I mean, that can just be so frustrating. So an easier way to do it is if you click on these three dots just to the right, you can select the Move To, and then you have the option of moving to any of the groups that you've created. And we can just click Move. And what we'll see is that assignment, see, it's gone from here now, and it's moved itself down into my science group. So this is great, right? So it's very helpful to organize your assignments this way. It just makes it easier to find in the Assignments tab. But what I think is even more powerful, and I'm going to scroll back up here, is in the Grades tab. So when we go and look at our grade book, by default, we have this enormous grade book that stretches for miles left and right, and it can be overwhelming and hard to track down assignments. But if you've organized your assignments into groups, it's a little more manageable because you can start filtering. So you can see this gradebook is huge, right? It's huge. But what I can do is I can click View, and I can go down to Filters, and I can filter by assignment group. And at first we don't really see anything change, but over if I click on this drop down and select one of my groups, we'll just go ahead and do Science, we can see that the assignments in that science group are the ones that show up here. So we can look at this and see what trends may have happened over time. Now this is a sandbox course, it's not a real course, so that the people in this course have no grades, but we can definitely see that if they did, we could see a trend over time of the score that they're getting on these assignments, and we could use that in our standards-based grading. And it just is a lot more useful to filter it down that way. So assignment groups can be a really useful tool, especially for filtering down grades. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.